Welcome back. It's Kovacs Report, and again, it's time for more previews catalogs. This time it's DC Connect. These are books that are being solicited now and should be available in January of 2026. Yes, the first books of a new year. We're going to take a look at them, highlight what's new. I want to, give you my thoughts on some of them and let you know what's on my pull list, or we can compare notes later. So before that happens, don't forget, do like the video if you can. Please do hit that subscribe. I really appreciate it. And of course, beware, there are going to be a lot of spoilers probably in this catalogue. I'm going to try and avoid some of them so we don't spoil the books for you and me. So DC KO, of course, on the front cover. The final 8 combatants enter the ring. So again, this might just show who makes it through. I hope DC have censored those pages, those covers maybe, that show these people so we don't give it away too damn early. But we've got the Joker here, a very classic looking Joker, Killing Joke Joker maybe, Lex Luthor, and I think that's Absolute Wonder Woman in the background. Very interesting. Here we go. The Elite Eights remain, and all hell is going to break loose. So I am not going to read this synopsis, because we've just had issue 1, and I do not want to spoil it for anybody. But the covers look amazing. Look at them. Look away. Oh, God, that's a ton of cover. Looks amazing. I want it. I've got to have it. Oh, moving along. Jason Todd, Tim Drake, Double Trouble for Batman. So, Knife Fight hasn't started yet, but it sounds really cool because, Batman. Now, again, spoiler alert, I'm going to talk about what happens in DC KO issue 1. Batman didn't make it. He's been sort of removed from the tournament, and he's got his own battles to fight. He will be fighting all the Robins if they became Batman in alternate universes, I think. Yes, that's what that synopsis is. It's batshit crazy, pun intended, this whole DCKO. Every week they reveal something else that's mental. They're going to be fighting characters from different comic book publishers, Homelander, the serial killer bear from Under the... Oh my God, it's crazy. Honestly, it's crazy. Also, the doll from The Conjuring and Annabelle. They're going to be fighting these guys. It's going to be crazy. It is getting crazy. If they could pull this off, it would be amazing. But who knows? DCKO, the kids are all fight special. Jeremy Adams, Travis Mercer. What's this about? John Kent always wanted to be a Titan when he grew up, but now that he's working alongside them in the effort to evacuate Earth, he didn't think he'd be stuck babysitting young sidekicks. When the kids sneak off to enter the fray and stop Granny Goodness, John will have to show these young heroes the ropes so they can save the day and prove there's no age requirements to being a superhero. And you won't want to miss the shocking finale. Okay, well, we'll give that a go. I'm going to try and review as many of the DCKO tie-ins as possible, but well, here they are. Now, let's just talk about them so far. Now, I did read all of the DCKO sort of first wave tie-ins, and I found them very difficult to get through. There is so much heavy lifting being done in these books. There's a lot of explaining going on, so that when you read the DCKO miniseries, that I don't think they have to waste much time. They can just get to the action. I think that's what's happening. And I personally found it quite a lot, like a lot to take in. Let me know what you thought. I'm not saying the books are bad, not at all. I'm just saying that they really are doing a lot of work so that this mini-series can sort of get to the fun stuff. But look at these covers. They look pretty cool here. What's Superman and Lex Luthor back to back? Oh dear, that looks cool. And what's this one as well? Sort of, I'm not sure what's going on here, but it looks crazy. Some demonic many-headed dragon thing. Who's in there? Is that Batman Beyond's in there? Is that Superman Blue as well? Maybe? I'm not sure. Let's see what they say. Superman 34, Rock of Apocalypse. Darkseid's plan worked. Earth has been transformed into Apocalypse. His Dark Legion prepares the Earth for his imminent arrival. If Superman is locked in the tournament, who can stand up and defeat them? I do not know. Moving on, Mark Waid and Dan Mora on Justice League. Let's just go back a second, actually. Superman 34 is Joshua Williamson with art by Eddie Barrows and Ebner Ferreira. Justice League Unlimited 15, Mark Waid and Dan Mora. I bet it looks stunning. I mean, look at that cover. Crikey. The plot, Neuron set in motion, is revealed at last, and the consequences will spell the end of heroism on planet Earth, as powered-up villains ravage what's left of the planet. The Terrific 10. Ah, yes, Mr. Terrific is forming his own little merry band of I was going to say Avengers, but I can't say that. This is DC. Merry band of heroes. So Mr. Terrific is in this one. Good. The Terrific 10 is whittled down to a handful of survivors who can't possibly withstand the fires of Hell. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, I'm excited by that one. It's got Miss Terrific in it. A Race Against the Dark Legion, The Flash 29, Mark Waid and Christopher Cantwell writing, Vasco Georgiev on art. So the Dark Legion chase the Flash and Impulse to a pivotal moment in Flash history, the moment when Barry Allen was struck by lightning. Well, that does sound quite interesting. I'll definitely be picking that one up. And if I can get through it, I'll give it a little review. The Earth Reborn in Titans 31 by John Layman and Pete Woods. Something has gone wrong in the Omega tournament, and the planet's transformation into New Apocalypse has accelerated. Darkseid's forces arrive on Earth to witness his rebirth, so it's up to Donna Troy and Roy Harper to hold them back. But can they survive against Grail, the daughter of Darkseid? Again, sounds really, really interesting. Good old knockoff Green Arrow there. Just a joke, if he's your favourite character. Moving on. Kyle Rayner brings the Cosmic Reinforcements. Okay, Kyle Rayner's back in the game. DCKO Green Lantern Galactic Slam #1. Look at that fold-out cover there. Looks really cool. I guess that's a nod to Mortal Kombat Street Fighter. Looks very cool. That is a very, very cool cover. I've got to admit, that little wraparound one at the bottom. So Jeremy Adams and Kian Tormey. As the KO tournament rages on Earth, the cosmos holds its collective breath as the heroes of our planet fight for the survival of the very universe. But the cavalry is on the horizon. Kyle Rayner, in a bid to provide cover for his fellow Green Lanterns, has found himself pummeled across the galaxy and into the ring of a wrestling federation. Oh no, oh dear heavens no. It's Omega Bam Man about to enter the DCKO fray. Oh my God, an entire cavalcade of brawlers is right behind him. Oh, the tables? Somebody get the tables. Okay, so this is why we've been seeing these variant covers of DC heroes in the DCKO event fighting wrestlers from, I think it's I'm not too sure. Is it AEW, something like that? I'm not up on these things. So I guess that's what they're doing as well, maybe? This is odd. This really, do you know what? I'm all for throwing the, good ideas out there, wacky stuff, but this is getting really, really wacky. And I'm worried that some of this silliness might take away some of the sharp edge of a really interesting event, but we shall see. It might be a load of fun. We'll find out. Is it a one-shot or a mini? It's 48 pages, so I'm going to assume this might be a one-shot. Yeah. Much like this Absolute Batman 2025 annual, which I think comes out, is it this week or next? Very, very interesting. I've done a little video with some preview pages of that, if you want to watch it. Should be live on the channel now. Now, the Absolute series, as I say every time I do this, has really been growing on me quite a lot. Well, particularly the Trinity books, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. And finally, two of them are going to meet. Yes, as you can guess by this giant cover here, Batman and Wonder Woman are going to meet. Go to hell. Well, she's been there, my friend, so it's not going to be too much trouble for good old Wonder Woman. So Scott Snyder and Rick Dragotta. This is part 2 of the crossover story, so I'm not going to really synopsis, but let's dive over to Absolute Wonder Woman 16, because look who we have here. The big reveal, the big, I say full reveal. We kind of got the reveal in the last issue of Absolute Zatanna, one of my favorite DC characters. And she looks pretty cool. I've got to admit, I know a lot of people don't like some of these designs in the Absolute book. I was the same for some of it, but when I got my head around the fact that it's no rules, it's do whatever we want, be as crazy as we want, let's just have some fun, I relaxed a little, and I'm really enjoying it. And now we've got Zatanna, so I'm not complaining at all. I think Nick Dragotta and Hayden Sherman and everyone else that's taking part in this are doing fantastic work. So the Season of the Witch arc begins here after her exploits in the Area 41 maze, which was a really good story in Absolute Wonder Woman. Dinah has resolved to not let her personal mission overwhelm the one she was sent to the surface world to fulfill. But a new threat has emerged in Gateway City, and it turns out the best thing to send to kill Wonder Woman is another witch. Zatanna is here, and Dinah's life will never be the same. Yes, Kelly Thompson, Hayden Sherman, looking forward to this. It is one of the books at the top of my list when it comes out, as is Absolute Superman. And I'm not even a Superman fan, but this book has had me wrapped around its super finger since issue 1 or 2. It's doing really well. Jason Aaron, Juan Ferreira, and it's really, really, really getting good. Now, in the shocking aftermath of the Battle of Kansas, Superman wrestles with profound changes to his life, his allies, and even his costume. But more importantly, there's work to be done as we experience a day in the life of the world's busiest superhero and welcome guest artist Juan Ferreira from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to the series. Good, I'm all on board. I'm Absolute Flash. Now, I'm a fan of Jeff Lemire, okay, but I really couldn't get into Absolute Flash. Let me know if I should give it a second chance. It's art by Nick Robles. Wally finds himself pulled into the mysterious dimension that Barry was trying to access. But there's a spelling mistake there. But how can he escape and make it back to Fort Fox and save his father? I don't know. We'll find out. Again, another one I just couldn't get into. I think it's because it's Al Ewing. I'm just not a big fan of his books. They're not very exciting, and they are just drenched in stuff that doesn't need to be there. But let's have a look. Al Ewing with Sid Kotian on art. Jo Malone finds herself in the crosshairs of the bounty hunter Goldface. Now, is that a current villain in the normal DC universe? I don't know, because my DC knowledge isn't sort of as vast as my Marvel knowledge. Let me know. He looks pretty cool, or she looks pretty cool. I'm not sure. Absolute Martian Manhunter. Dennis Camp. Again, I'm really sorry. If you're enjoying this book, great. The art is stunning. Okay, absolutely no denying it. But I can't dig Dennis Camp's work. I just do not enjoy it at all. Okay, so moving on. Fraction and Jimenez deliver A Date to Remember. So the Batman book, I think we're 2 issues in. Are we 2 issues in? Maybe 3, 2. I'm really enjoying it, actually. They're all self-contained one-shot stories. I'm sure there's an overarching story going through the whole thing. And so far, it looks stunning. It really is stunning. The way they've reimagined Gotham, the Batsuit, the Batmobile, and all the tech. It's just been fantastic. And the story's been really good. I'm really enjoying it. We're getting 2 or 3 Batman books a month that are really solid at the moment. What's this one about? Well, like I say, they're all self-contained, so we can read the synopsis. It won't spoil anything that came before. A night out with Bruce Wayne goes off the rails immediately for Dr. Annika Zeller. It seems her experimental crown of storms has her marked for death. Ooh, and if they survive the legendary Triple O gang, they'll still have to confront the sinister assassin known as Lady Deathman. Okay, interesting name. The covers look pretty cool. I do like the art. The art is really good. I'm looking forward to it. Nightwing caught in a deadly game. Dan was... Okay, well, listen. The Nightwing run for me is the Tom Taylor, Bruno Redondo run for me. It's absolutely definitive for me. I loved it. For me, it hasn't been the same since. But if you're reading Nightwing and you're enjoying it, I guess it's doing all right. So in the heart of the Cirque du Sin, a carnival game is played for the souls of Bloodhaven's children. But whether Nightwing wins or loses, the outcome of this game will have repercussions for this city forever. Ooh. Batgirl, Tate Brumble is doing an amazing book. Everything Dead and Dying, I think it's called. It's like a post-apocalyptic zombie story with an actual twist. And it is absolutely amazing. Honestly, flawless book. I wasn't too hot on his Batgirl. I read the first arc. I do promise to read the rest of it. I want to love it. I like some of the stuff he did over in the Slaughterverse as well. So maybe it's time to return to Batgirl. She is one of my favourite characters. I love the Bat family and the connected villains. Batman and Robin 29, Philip Kennedy Johnson, Fico Ossio on art. I am in the process of reading all of this. I keep being told it's so good. And Philip Kennedy Johnson has, as I said in other videos, is fast becoming one of my favourite modern writers. So I'm going to give it another bash. Ooh. Detective Comics is pretty cool at the moment. We got 2 issues into a new arc. I guess this will spoil something if I read a synopsis, so I won't. Batman has basically been infected by this toxin, and he has something like 36 hours to find a cure before he turns into a sort of uninhibited death machine, I guess. So very interesting. We've got a new villain called the Lion, who is some, I wouldn't say reclusive, but some mysterious billionaire guy, as you can see, jumping behind Batman as we go through this. Catwoman, okay. Again, Catwoman for me, not been on my pull list for a long time. I've not been enjoying it. Again, let me know if I should. Same with Harley Quinn, and only because I just haven't had time to catch up. I've got like 40 issues, I think, or 45 issues of this to catch up so I can review it every month, or maybe talk about it with a bit more authority. Poison Ivy, not digging it at all. G. Willow Wilson, I think, is one of those writers which doesn't float my boat. Again, I'm not saying it's bad writing. I'm just saying it's just not me. Hopefully, though, there will be a point where I just sit down when I get some free time and just binge the whole series and try and make my mind up about it. Because, again, I love that character. I love Poison Ivy. Speaking of Ivy and Harley, we've got this Erica Henderson a written and drawn book, which hasn't started yet. So I'm going to reserve judgment on this one until the first issue comes out. Now, I did give Dan Slott's Superman Limited 4 issues, and it just didn't ring any bells for me. It just felt like such a throwback to 1930s, but without any of this sort of modern excitement to keep me involved in the book. So that has slipped off my pull list. Same as Supergirl, Sophie Campbell and Joe Quinones. Now listen, this book, it looks really cool, okay, like art-wise and everything else. It's nice enough, but I'm just going to say it, and I'm going to be honest, it's not for me. And it's not for me, not because it's bad. It's just, it absolutely is aimed at, again, a very specific audience. And I do not fit into that audience. So if you are that audience, I'm sure you're having an amazing time with this book. It certainly looks cool from the issues that I've read. But that's off the list. Action Comics, again, this is probably going to have to go back on if it's tied into DCKO. I don't think it is. Let's see what it's all about. Mark Waid, Patricio Della Pesce. Let's see what it says. As Superboy is called for his first mission for General Lane, Clark wonders if he made the right decision as the tension builds. The US government prepares a contingency plan that could put our hero down for good. Plus, Pete Ross has a secret, one he's reluctant to share with his best friend. Now, I'm not reading this book. I did read a couple of issues a little while back. I'm not sure what's going on at all. He looks like he's in some sort of, I don't know, SWAT team like vest uniform here. What's going on? What is going on? Batman, Superman, World's Finest. I've not been reading these. From what I know, they're sort of little one-shot stories, aren't they? Little small tales here and there. I gave a couple of them a go, and they were okay. You know, they're sort of coffee break books, really. Wonder Woman by Stephanie Williams. Now, this means that... Is it Tom Taylor or Tom King? Tom King is taking a break. The whole creative team is taking a break from Wonder Woman for a few issues. So I guess it's Stephanie Williams and Jeff Spokes stepping in while they're taking their break. But they are working on this Black and Gold 2026 special. Yes, Tom King, Mitch Gerards, Steve Orlando, Alicia Wong, and Jordi Belair, with art by Mitch Gerards, Rossi Guilford, Karen S. Darbo, and Paulina Ganuccio. I'm so bad at names. You know this by now. Witness thrilling tales starring the Amazon princess. Oh, embellished in the colour of her famous lasso. This round, the Eisner Award-winning team of Tom King and Mitch Gerards reunites. Steve Orlando has Diana's search for the truth in a land of lies. Alicia Wong brings Wonder Woman to the spirit world, and the team behind Wonder Woman, The Adventures of Young Diana, is back for more. So I guess this is going to be one of those sort of, tritone, duotone books. Could be good. We'll give it a go. Adventures of Superman, Book of L by Philip Kennedy Johnson. Now, I did read the first one, but I love Philip Kennedy Johnson. It just didn't tickle me. I think it's the character, to be honest. It's not anything to do with the writing or the art, which was really, really lovely. Scott Godlewski. But I just didn't know enough about Superman and what was going on to enjoy it. So, again, no reflection on the quality of the book, but it's off my list. Now, the JSA, Jeff Lemire, I am catching up on. I got to say, I'm actually quite enjoying it. I really am. It's a book I'd never thought I'd like, but I kind of do. So we're giving that a go. So, JSA 15, Gavin Giltree doing the art. The trail of clues bring the heroes closer together, but it also leads them straight into the arms of a number of foes who are more than willing to strike down a do-gooder. Okay, sounds good. It's got that old worldy feel to it. I really like it. The art just elevates the story. I'm definitely enjoying this book. Now, Green Lantern, I'm not reading. I've just never been a Green Lantern fan. I read quite a lot of it back in the 80s, but I say 80s, late 80s, maybe the early 90s. I just can't get into it. So let me know if I'm missing out, but I don't know. I don't resonate with the character. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Well, let's see what's happening in Green Lantern 31. It says Barry Allen is wanted dead or alive. Okay. But I have to get through Green Lantern first. As Hal continues his investigation into the mysterious and deadly new chapter in the Book of Oa, the trail leads to Central City and old pal Barry Allen. Okay, get some Flash going down. The boys in the red and green team up to tackle a duo mystery that will test their trust, their friendship, and the very life of the world's formerly fastest CSI investigator. Okay. Aquaman 13. Now, I just don't dig Aquaman at all. In stunning cover there, but not on the pull list. Justice League Red, I tried, but it's Saladin Ahmed. You know how I feel about Saladin Ahmed. I just don't dig his stuff. He's in that same camp as, well, there's a clue of what I just said. Same camp as some of the other writers that I don't enjoy. Now, Cheetah and Treasure Rob the Justice League is shaping up to be a real good fun sort of hyper heist book. Heist caper. I'm really enjoying that. Greg Rucka and Nicholas Scott on art. They are trying to steal something very, very dangerous from the JLA Watchtower. So jump on board. It's only a few issues in at the moment. I'm enjoying it. So Justice League versus Godzilla is not for me. Oh, and versus Kong. Let's not forget Kong. DC's Supergirl Next Door. Okay, this sounds to me like this is going to be sort of for a sort of, again, a specific audience. Definitely not for me. But let's read what it's about and who's writing it. So written by Nathan Fairbairn, CRC Payne, Rosie Knight, Dorado Quick, Nicola Main, Sarah Kuhn, David Wheelgoats, and more. Art by Paulina. Honestly, there's so many creators here. Let's just skip to what it's about. I'm sorry if you're one of the creators. There's something about Kara. She's effortlessly cool, adored by all, and looks great in a cape. You see where this is going? And she's truly all that. She could have 50 first dates lined up in a minute, but love actually wasn't on her radar until now. In this hot new anthology, join Supergirl and a host of love-struck heroes and villains as they bravely embark on quests for love, even if it means running through every rom-com trope to get there. You will be hard-pressed to find 10 things to hate about this book. I see what you've done there. So pick it up this Valentine's Day and place it on the shelf next to the books you've loved before. All right, so this is going to be teen rom-com fiction. Definitely not for me, but this is... And issue 1's about to come out. Batman, Green Arrow, The Question, reunited in Arcadia. Very much looking forward to this. Now, I've done a video on it somewhere else, so check that out. I don't want to read the synopsis, don't want to spoil it. Immortal Legend Batman, Cole Higgins and Matt Groom, with art by Erica D'Urso and Dan Mora. Now, I read the first couple of issues, and it was fun. It was sort of, in space, very sort of Japanese-influenced space tale. But it wasn't enough for me to sort of keep it on my pull list. Again, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying there's so many other books. Some of them got to go. The Batman Second Night. I haven't read this. I really want to read everything that came before. Let me know if this is a good series or not. I hear lots of good things by Dan Jurgens and Mike Perkins. Very good. Now, Court, Children of the Round Table by Tom Taylor and Danielle Niculo. I thought this was going to be a silly book, but it was actually loads and loads of fun. I'm 2 issues in, so I'm very, very sold on it already. It is really fun. It's sort of Knights of the Round Table, but kids with talking weapons fighting off the baddies. It is just a whole bunch of fun. I thoroughly recommend it if you like that type of thing. Now, Gotham Academy, I did read the first issue, and it just absolutely wasn't for me whatsoever. So off the pull list. But if you like the first series, I think it's along the same vein, so I think you'll enjoy it. Now, I don't read the kiddie books, of course. I don't read Mad anymore. We're into this sort of trades and facsimiles now. Let's have a look. So Killing Joke is getting a facsimile. Okay, well, there we go. What else is getting a facsimile? Oh, Batman 676. Okay, the dance macabre is ready to begin as Dr. Hurt and the criminal consortium known as the Black Glove begin their malevolent machinations. Bruce Wayne and Jezebel Jet receive a most mysterious summons. It's the beginning of the epic saga, Batman Rest in Peace. Now, I do remember that run, and it was damn good. Grant Morrison and art by Tony S. Dana. Why are we getting Grant Morrison? That's because Grant Morrison is making a big return to DC, starting with the Batman Deadpool one-shot, the big crossover thing. He's got the main story in there, and I guess we're going to get a lot of Grant Morrison stuff, or news rather, coming out in the following weeks. He has returned to DC. He's got a lot to say. Some love his work at DC, some don't. It's mixed for me. I love a lot of Grant Morrison's non-superhero stuff. I love quite a bit of his superhero stuff, but there's some of it which is you know what I'm on about. You've read it all. But yes, good news all round. Okay, more facsimiles. Superman 75, of course, the Death of Superman, very famous cover. Brave and the Bold 28, again, another famous book. And Jack Kirby's New Gods is getting a facsimile edition. I have a copy of this floating around somewhere. Blimey hell, I don't even know where it is. What else we got? Now, this is the big news. The 50th anniversary Treasury edition, they are reprinting Superman versus the Amazing Spider-Man. This was way back in the 70s, if I remember rightly. It's a big Treasury edition, and the art is stunning. Honestly, open up this book and it transports you back to being a teenager. Not even that, being preteen and being just excited with every page and every brushstroke and those colors so vivid. So I am thoroughly looking forward to this. I've done a video on it, of course, and they're also doing the Marvel Treasury Edition number 28 of Superman and Spider-Man 2. Now, it's not just that. Marvel are doing this Superboy, Spider-Boy facsimile of this. So we got those 3 facsimiles. Plus, we're getting some new crossovers. I guess, of course, because they got this huge crossover thing going on right now. It would be silly not to include Superman and Spider-Man, 2 flagship characters, right? So exciting times. I am absolutely 100% all in for these books. Well, Batman Hush. This is the trade paperback. Wow, I will be surprised if this comes out in January because we're still, what, 2 or 3 issues left of the Batman Hush 2 storyline. The Batman book that's supposed to, lead on after it is already 2 issues in. So come on, Jim. Come on, Jeff. Where's the book? Now, let's talk about it. It ain't good, is it, boys? It ain't good. I've done a video on it asking about what the hell's it all about. But this has been... It's been a bit of a letdown. Now, I guess, Jim Lee being the big head honcho over at DC, he's a busy boy, right? And I don't think he gets a lot of time to put pencil to paper. So I understand the delays. But the story, well, you let me know what you think in the comments. We won't get into that right now. Yes, Trinity, daughter of Wonder Woman. Tom King's getting his trade paperback with Belen Ortega. Kanga Yu, Lost in a Labyrinth. What's this? Sholly Fish and Yanni Labat, trapped in the legendary Greek labyrinth. Jumper and her friends will face some of mythology's most fearsome creatures. Probably not for me. A Wonder Woman graphic novel, is it? Oh, like a kid Wonder Woman graphic novel. I guess this is for the younger readers, right? Action Comics gets its volume 1. Okay, Mark Waid and Skylar Partridge Santormi. Okay, we're going to get all the other trades that are sort of stacking up. So Gotham City Sirens, Unfit for Orbit. That was a bit of fun. I read most of it. Haven't read all of it yet. Batman, Superman Balls Finest, Volume 8. All right, let's skip past some of these. Pick out some interesting ones that I really enjoyed. So The New Gods is pretty cool. I've got to say that. And Miss Terrific Year 1 is probably one of my favorite DC books of the year. Al Letson, Valentine Delandro, and Edwin Gallman have done an incredible job. I think there's one issue left, and so far every single issue for me has been flawless. It's made me a huge fan of Miss Terrific. If you've not read it, I'd advise you jump on board right now. It looks good, it reads good. It's just perfect. I absolutely love it. Okay, DC's finest. So we're getting the big chunky ones. We're getting the collector editions, which are doing really, really well for DC. It's definitely attracting new readers and also satisfying some of the older readers too. But this looks like a big one. Ooh, this looks like an absolute edition. This series that reimagined Superman's origin for a new generation. Remastered with original colors in the biggest format yet. John Byrne, yes. Wow. In celebration of its 40th anniversary, experienced the landmark tale fully remastered and in the biggest format, featuring an extensive art gallery of never-before-seen pencils, original art, and more. So it is 8 1/8 inch by 12 1/4 inches, slip-cased hardcover, $100, 328 pages, and it looks like that cover is die cut. So Superman looks like he's punching through the book of the slipcase. Yeah, very nice. I'd love to look at that. The Man of Steel, John Byrne. Dark Knights of Steel, All Winter. I've not read that. They're reprinting Supergirl Being Super. And I love Mariko Tamaki and Joelle Jones. But this, for me, just wasn't fun. Again, I think it's for a very specific audience, like I said before. Bizarro Girl, I've not read that one, but I like the idea of it. Let's see what this is about. Maybe you could tell me about a book that I've missed. Sterling Gates, Jamal Ingle, Bernard Chang, John Sabal, and others. Okay, covered by Amy Reeder. When a bizarro version of her appears in Metropolis, Supergirl punches first and asks questions later. But when she learns Bizarro Girl is a refugee on the run from a disaster that threatens to destroy her world, she realizes they have more in common than she thought. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Cat Grant has discovered the heroine's secret identity, but this thorn in Supergirl's side isn't planning to reveal what she's learned. All she wants is Supergirl's help confronting one of DC Universe's oldest villains. Also included is Supergirl's trip to the 30th century where she joins a League of Superheroes. Okay, so it's going to collect quite a few bits. I might give that a go. Collect Supergirl 53 to 59, Supergirl Annual number 2. All right. Okay, Catwoman, New 52 Omnibus. Okay, that's pretty cool. Judd Winnick and Ann Nocchetti. I might pick that up, actually. I haven't read that in a long time. Golden Age, Flinch returns. That's a Vertigo. Yes, well, with the announcement the other week, again, I've done a video on it, of Vertigo returning. I've been expecting a lot of these Vertigo books to suddenly be reprinted. And this was like an anthology book of real twisted, weird tales. Some were hit, some were miss. But this came out quite a long time ago. This collects all 16 issues. John Arcudi, Brian Azzarello, Garth Ennis, many others. Richard Corbin, Frank Quitely, Kent Williams. I mean, the lineup's huge. That's the Phil Hale cover there. So, $35, 376 pages. Delusions of grandeur, lustful desires, violent fantasies. We've all had dark thoughts we dare not act out. We've all imagined scenarios where we let out our base instincts take over, but we never speak or share them because the reaction they might stir may cause others to flinch. This tome of terror features some of the most disturbing and twisted tales ever to be imagined by a who's who of comics, greatest visionaries, and is sure to leave a lasting impression on your psyche long after you finish reading it, whether you like it or not. All right, give it a go. And of course, we've got more Hellblazer coming. Justice League, New 52, Book 3. Lobo back-to-back. He's seeing a bit of a resurgence right now, isn't he? So I'm sure, it wasn't long before back-to-back got reprinted. That's Keith Giffen and Alan Grant, with art by Keith Giffen, Simon Bisley, the gem of Simon Bisley. I love that man. And Christian Alame. So there we go. New Teen Titans Omnibus. What else? That's it. I thought there might be something else as super amazing as these special editions, which I love collecting those kind of things. I like the sort of be-all, end-all version of a story. But there we go. There's my pull list. Some of this stuff, you might say, hey, you're missing out. Some of this stuff you might say, hey, why are you reading that? Let me know in the comments. Be very interested to hear your thoughts. Anyway, that's it for now. Like the video if you can. Hit subscribe too. I'm trying to build this channel up. I need your help to do it. I'd really, really appreciate it. Read more comics, and we'll see you in the next one.